Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are strapping in for a thorough exploration of one of the absolute titans of literature, Leo Tolstoy's Anna Karenina.
Hmm.
And if you know anything about this novel, you know it's so much more than a love story. It's this, well, this devastatingly intelligent look at love, marriage, society, and the brutal struggle for freedom.
Right.
We're not here to just summarize the plot. Instead, we want to cut through all 800 some odd pages to really get at Tolstoy's psychological insights.
Hmm.
What was he trying to tell us about happiness, about sacrifice?
Exactly. Our mission today is really focused on the novel's central engine, which is that collision point. It's where this intense personal human desire smashes right into the immovable wall of 19th century Russian high society.
I like that, the immovable wall.
It is. The story is about choices, sure, but it's more about the tragic consequences of those choices when they break the social code.
Okay, let's unpack this then, because Tolstoy masterfully gives us two journeys, not just one. They run in parallel. On one side, you have the passionate, chaotic, and, ultimately tragic journey of Anna.
And on the other, you have the reflective, philosophical quest for meaning from Konstantin Levin. These two arcs are what give the book its incredible power.
So let's start with Anna herself. Her situation is really the emotional tinderbox of the whole novel.
Mhm.
We meet her, she's beautiful, she's magnetic, she's at the absolute pinnacle of Petersburg society, but she's married to Alexei Karenin.
A man who is basically a walking government document. He's dry, bureaucratic, and there's just no emotional intimacy there. None.
And that's the core conflict right there. She's trapped, her marriage is a social contract, perfect on paper, but completely empty inside.
And she is a woman of deep passion. So when she meets Count Vronsky, this charming cavalry officer, the attraction is just explosive.
Because it's an escape.
It's an escape from everything, not just her husband, but the suffocation of her entire world. And what's critical here is that Tolstoy frames the affair as kind of political act. It's a rebellion against the whole social order that's confining her.
Yeah, that's a great point. She's not just having an affair, she's challenging the entire structure.
And the stakes are incredibly high. Her desires are on a collision course with rules that are totally unforgiving, especially for women.
Right. I mean, she has no legal way to get a divorce without her husband's permission, and even if she did, the social fallout would be catastrophic.
And that sets up the book's central, devastating question.
Yeah.
How do you find freedom? How do you find authenticity when society is completely uncompromising? Anna tries to find it through passion.
But that passion comes with a price tag that society is very, very eager to collect. She's risking everything. Her son, her status, all of it.
All of it.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting, tracing the arc of their relationship. Because at first, the affair is described as just intoxicating,
Yeah.
liberating.
It's a fantasy come true. They run away from society to live in this romantic bubble.
But that bubble bursts pretty quickly, and the
Okay.
decline from love into despair is just brutal to read. Tolstoy is so meticulous, but the reasons why.
But
There's the relentless societal judgment, right? Then there's this crushing jealousy that starts to poison everything. And finally, there's the weight of her own conscience, especially about her son.
it's a masterful look at internal conflict. What makes her story so tragic is that she's caught in this trap. She's a victim of her own powerful desires, yes, but she's also a victim of a world that was just strict and totally unforgiving.
Let's dig into that jealousy for a second, because that seems to be the thing that rots the relationship from the inside.
Absolutely. Think about it. They run away together, but Vronsky, as a man, still has a life. He has his freedom, he can ride his horses, deal with his military career, he can still move in certain circles.
But Anna is completely banished. She gives up everything.
Her entire world shrinks down to just Vronsky,
Right.
and that's a critical distinction.
Right, because he still has these other sources of fulfillment, so he can't understand why his every move is life or death for her.
Exactly. Her emotional needs become suffocating because she has no other outlet. She feels his freedom as a constant threat. The fact that he could walk away and still have a life terrifies her.
So the very passion that was supposed to free her becomes a cage.
A cage defined by her complete dependence on him. And it's reinforced by the judgment of the society she left behind. That paranoia just eats away at her and destroys everything.
But here's a question then. If she's a victim of these social pressures, does Tolstoy let her off the hook entirely? I mean, some people read her actions as deeply selfish, this destructive need to possess Vronsky.
That's a great question, and I think the answer is that Tolstoy shows us the internal and the external are inseparable.
Okay.
Her destructive need is born from the external oppression. If society had given her even a fraction of the freedom or forgiveness it gave Vronsky, her internal strain might have been manageable.
But it didn't.
It didn't. The world forced her to choose everything or nothing. So her desires become absolute and, in the end, self-destructive.
Wow, okay, so if we leave Anna in that tragic space, we're only getting half the picture. To really see Tolstoy's whole argument, we have to transition to the counterpoint.
We have to talk about Levin.
The story of Konstantin Levin and Kitty. If Anna is the chaos of the city, Levin is the search for something quiet and grounded?
Levin is basically Tolstoy's philosophical stand-in. From the start, he rejects the superficiality of Petersburg society. His goal isn't passion, it's authenticity. He wants a life connected to the land, to nature, to hard work.
And their love story is so different. Anna's is instant, explosive. Levin's love for Kitty is drawn out, it's painful, it requires him to actually work on himself.
Especially because she rejects him at first. She's infatuated with Vronsky.
And that rejection is so important, isn't it? It forces him back to his country estate to figure out who he is and what he believes. He doesn't try to change society, he tries to change himself.
We see that so clearly in those famous scenes where Levin is out in the fields mowing with his peasants. He's literally trying to find spiritual truth in physical labor.
He's looking for something that lasts, not the fleeting high that Anna found.
Precisely. And his eventual marriage to Kitty represents a more balanced, enduring vision of love. It's grounded in family and the rhythms of nature, not this all-consuming fire.
So it's not just about two different couples. Tolstoy is making a geographical and philosophical argument.
He is. He's contrasting the artificiality and chaos of city life, where Anna tries to find freedom, with the calm, honest struggle of rural living that Levin embraces. The city is judgment. The country is truth.
So the novel is really a map of two different paths to happiness. One leads to tragedy, the other leads to a kind of quiet peace.
A hard-won piece. It's not easy for him either.
Right. Okay, let's pivot now to the broader social critique, because it's not just about romance. Tolstoy is really taking aim at the entire system.
He pulls no punches. He's relentlessly showing the hypocrisy of the Russian aristocracy. They have all these rigid outward rules about marriage and protocol, but underneath, it's morally corrupt and unbelievably cruel.
And that hypocrisy is the very mechanism that destroys Anna.
Completely. Vronsky, who is equally guilty in the affair, faces a minor inconvenience. He's still accepted in some places. His future is fine.
But Anna is banished entirely.
Because of the limited roles available to women. You are either a chaste wife or a fallen woman. There was no third option. Her struggle isn't just a personal failing. It's the direct result of the pressure this system puts on people.
She's a systemic victim.
That's the perfect way to put it. And if we bring it all together, Anna Karenina is this profound investigation of the human condition. Anna's quest for passion and Levin's search for peace show us these contrasting dimensions of the human spirit.
Passion versus patience, chaos versus calm.
And the universal struggle for balance in life.
And I think that's why the novel still resonates so deeply. Tolstoy's psychological insight is it's unmatched. He shows you the internal reality of his characters, their guilt, their paranoia, their joy, so vividly.
Absolutely. The novel presents this world where love, loyalty, social pressure, and freedom all intersect and clash. It forces you to ask where responsibility really lies when a person is crushed by a system that refuses to forgive. Tolstoy opens the novel with that famous line, "Happy families are all alike. Every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way."
Classic.
It is. But Anna's story suggests her unhappiness wasn't unique at all. It was structural. It was the predetermined outcome for any woman who dared to put her own fulfillment first.
So that brings us to the final thought.
Right. If Tolstoy is arguing that this struggle for balance is just part of life, we have to ask ourselves, how do the social pressures that doomed Anna in the 19th century show up today? Do our own expectations around, career success or perfect parenting or those curated lives we see on social media, do they create new, unforgiving norms that push people toward isolation and despair, just like Anna was? It's something to think about.
Definitely something to mull over. Until next time.